And
Bro, I'm
there you
meant to
go,
be
that's it.
deep.
We're up.
I'm meant to be deep, bro. I'm not even deep yet. What's going on, mother lovers? Back again. It's some shit you might not never know nothing about. I am your host, Mice Diggy, along with my co-host, Dan DNA. What's going on, bruv?
Yes, I'm good.
Eee.
Yes, look straight at the camera
You
instead of
for
each other.
You ready for today? So, yo, I'm with the camera shit now. Like, yeah. You ready for today?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
How's your week been, man? Everything, we got some good news. We're going back to normal.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I finally took the mask off and
Yeah.
just been, getting into the war and all that sort of thing. And
The mask off
then
your knees.
today, obviously, don't know if you noticed it,
What's that?
red dust everywhere.
Ah, bruv. Everyone's talking about this red dust shit. Yo, bruv, is it I didn't even go to the car till mad late anyway, so I didn't know. But I do remember looking at the sky and thinking, right, it's kind of this sandy golden hue, and it did feel a little doomsday-ish.
Yeah.
So I can imagine people just sitting, they're already in a state of fear anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. But, yeah, it happens, man. It's like we've seen it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what
Where
the
is
big
it
deal
from?
is. Somewhere sandy.
Red sand as well.
Red sand.
Mars.
Well, I mean, it could be from Sahara somewhere.
Yeah.
Mars. You reckon Mars?
I don't know.
Meteor came and just like, like how dogs, when they just, they come out of the water and then they're, like a meteor was just darting past and thought, hold on a minute. And then we got it all. I appreciate, man, what's going on? I'm sure there are definitely some conspiracy theorists, mother lovers, that were talking some Armageddon shit.
Yeah.
For sure. There'll be a bunch of people out there trying to spin it into some, like, nah, bro, this happens, man.
Yeah.
What I want is the, remember we got the ash clouds?
Yeah, when all the airplanes shut down.
That was beautiful, man.
That was good, yeah.
The skies were clear, boy. And apparently the ash also, because it's in the air, it's absorbing all the moisture.
Yeah.
So there are no clouds. That was crazy, man. We had
Takes all
that
the
for a week or
toxins out
two.
of the sky as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Deactivated charcoal.
Yeah.
Non-activated charcoal, boy. Yeah, that's the one, man.
Rub your paintwork down.
I guess
want
that's
the
what
frogs.
people...
I want the do you know, like when in the past it's rained like frogs or hazelnuts? I want to see something like that. Where it's
rained hazelnuts?
Yeah, hazelnuts.
Is it?
Small fish. Yeah.
Imagine if it started raining fish, that's it, man. People are like, oh, in the scriptures it says, bruv, ease me up, man. Do that. Nah. Come on, man. Just wait. Just fry up some of the fish, man. Calm down. You're meant to eat the shit. Yeah, shout out to all the pescatarians out there. Shout out to the common sensors. You're going to have to scroll up because I missed some of the names up there, man. Big up all the crew locked in right about now. Shout out to Black Einstein. Shout out to Lawrence Limburger. PLK, what's going on? Back again. I know you've been looking forward to this one, boy. Shout out to your Moore. What's going on? Your Moore is in the building. Billy Wiz. Rah, we got a newcomer, Billy Wiz. What's going on, bruv? Shout out to Eddie Oliver. Yes, he called me my Stiggy. Yeah, see, when people do that, my Stiggy. That's what I'm talking about. He remember giving me jokes with a freestyle in Newcastle years back. Now, the after party, good times, always good times, man. The Newcastle boy, you lot have it up. Shout out to my brother DJ locked in. Yo, and Gleam, what's going on? Big up Irish, what's going on, brother? Yeah, man. Spoke to Irish earlier today. We've got some good news for you mother lovers out there that love your sea moss, love your sea vegetables. Of course, we'll get into that in a minute. But, man, yeah, it's been a mad one, man. Like, now, I think, people should just relax and try and get back to normal. Just forget the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They said everything's opened up, so just, let's do our best. Let's not panic anymore. Don't worry about this red dust.
That's a minor compared to everything else that's happened.
It's like, you know what I mean? Now there's a war going on outside, man. No one is safe from.
There's a war going on inside as well.
What, within?
Within
the mental.
mind.
Yeah, for sure.
The one on the outside reflects the one on the inside.
Yeah, but I think as long as people are, in good, they got good energy with them. Do you know what I mean? Just block out all of that. We don't know what's really going on out there,
Nah,
man.
it's true.
These days, you know what I mean?
We've had our correspondence in Ukraine and all this, and they don't even know what's going on. We've got people all over the place. We've got contacts in every land, and we've had people from reporting back from the front line, and they don't even think there is a front line. So
Bruv, shout out to Kenny Rebel.
Until you see it come here to your door, don't worry about it.
Exactly, man. It's like you don't know what's going on. Yeah. This is all on a screen that you don't know what's being manipulated, what's real, what. So it's just like, yo, don't let your emotions get attached to any of it. Like for me, after a while, this is how I feel. Is like they're just trying to draw your energy. Because half of the shit, or even 3/4 of the shit, is bullshit. It's just nothing. It's like, what happened to that? Like, what happened to these sniffer dogs that can sniff out Rona? What happened to all of that? People, bro, come on, man. People forget. It's like, yo, they come up with all. It's just like, yo, if you heard about you're like, yo,
what about the robot? What about the army of robot dogs?
The robot dogs. What happened to all of that shit? Yo.
We even talked about it, didn't we? Bruv. I think we talked about it. The army of robot dogs that was going to go out and tell people to put a mask on.
You lot better ease me up, man. What happened? Digital, this, that, ease me up, brother. Until it's on your doorstep, just calm the fuck down, boy. Just get on with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So big up all the crew locked in right about now. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time. We got to make sure, though, that people know whenever they need to get that ultimate form of nutrition, should I say.
Yeah.
You got to hook up with the CMOS Boss, mother lovers. And I'm not playing around when I say this because I've been on it now for a minute. Making my gels. Remember I said to you, I was like, yeah, I want to start getting into making gels. Yes, I've been getting into making the gels. Obviously, we got a good breakdown on how to make. There were 2 versions, you know what I mean, 2 recipes on how to make the gel, and I think I mastered it. Yeah. I'm getting deep with it now. You know, I'm like mixing the dose with the CMOS. You know what I mean? Put some sprinkles of the bladderwrack. It's like that. You got a sprinkle. You know, Salt Bay's got his thing like that. I'm like that. One hand like this, like it's an instrument. Sprinkle the bladderwrack in there. Bam. You know what I mean? Put in my distilled water. You know, I got to just bragging a little bit, humble brag, like the distilled water.
Oh, you got a distiller?
Yeah. I didn't tell you I got a distiller. Bro.
Didn't mention that.
Yeah, man, to cook it up. Man. So, of course, you know, many products you can get from the cmossboss.co.uk. You can get real Irish moss gel. So just what I've been talking about. You can get ready-made gel. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do it yourself. You can just get that. Bam. You can get wild-crafted Irish moss. You can get a mixture of bladderwrack and Irish moss. Real Irish moss in a gel. You can also get bladderwrack flakes, real spirulina flakes, and the wakame. I got to try the wakame, boy. I'm looking forward to that. The real sea spaghetti as well, which is a really good substitute for, you know, pasta and all that doughy stuff. You know what I mean? And, you know, you're getting good nutrition from it. As well as the sea spice and the red dulse. All very, 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 very much packed with a whole bunch of minerals and nutrients. You know what I mean? We've gone over it a million times, man. Like, if you don't know, then please do some research. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe us. But if you want your sea moss or any of your sea vegetable products, please hit up the cmossboss.co.uk, mother lovers. And you know what? Just in case you wanted to know, they bumped it up for us. They bumped it up for you, mother lovers. If you want to get 20% off any order from the cmossboss.co.uk, just type in about 20. Yeah, about 20. And you get 20% off any order, bitches and bitchettes.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice of them.
Yeah, man. Big up. Shout to Irish for that, man.
We're on level 2.
Woo, jeez. Yeah. And I'm telling you, the product is banging, man. Even though now you feel it in your skin.
I think I'm going to go for the spaghetti.
Yeah. The spaghetti's banging, man.
Yeah, I want to try that.
You know what I mean? Throwing a little spice on there, whatever you want, extra little, you know what I mean? Whatever sauce is, like your hot sauce, sweet and sour sauce. Or say it like that. Oh, boss, I'll get some more sauce, please. Yeah, boss, go get some more sauce. You know, man at the kebab shop. Yo, boss man, go get some more sauce. Shout out to Regantology in the building. Yes.
Oh, of course, St. Paddy's Day tomorrow, isn't it? Irish.
St. Paddy's Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Uh-oh. That's trouble on a Thursday night as well. Woof. People gonna
Early
go
weekend.
In. Yeah, for real, boy. That's a long weekend. It's like Thursday, Friday, then the rest of the weekend dealing with the hangover, trying to sort your life back out again. Yo, how did that land here, boy? Yeah, man. Guinness Day, yeah, man. That's a good one. All right, so I think we got that in order.
Mm-hmm.
It's time, mother lovers. Very much. Shout out to JM. Big up, nice one in the building. Very much looking forward to chatting with our guest tonight, man. This is a guy I'm proud to call a good friend, a brother. Seeing him from back in the day. We're going back to Kung Fu days now. You know what I mean? And obviously things started, rolling real well with Kung Fu. We were in the underworld by this time in Camden. We moved from WKD, you know what I mean? I think WKD was like 150 to 200 capacity, like cram. Like that's cram. But then bam, we moved over the road to the underworld, like 500, 550, you know what I mean? Cram. But man, them days were fun, man. Open mic always used to be fun, bare different MCs coming through. And then obviously performances from all walks of like the UK hip hop scene, you know what I mean? From all the way up to Scotland, all the way down, you know what I mean? As well as like international acts and all that. But then obviously you had like, countless of our legends come through. And Task Force were the ones that always would smash it, whether it be with the Raw Dog Band or doing, like performing the music from the corner stuff. And, you know what I mean? A few times, man, they'd bring out this guy. No one knew who he was. All we knew was Task Force Secret Weapon. That was it. Yeah, you just see him in the corner, just chilling, blazing. Them days you could blaze in the club. Oh, man. You know what I mean? We're backstage just, jeez, those days were fun, man. And so, you know what I mean? Man, whenever you heard it, it's like, right, it's time for the Secret Weapon. And boom, 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 boom. People knew, like, shit, this guy's going to smash it. Bruv, welcome to the show, man. Ramson Badbonez. Yo. Let's see some fire emojis up in the comments, man. This is going to be a fun one, mother lovers. You know what I mean? Because I know you've been asking for it. And I even said to you as well, man, I think, the conversations we have, I've been blessed enough now to be working with you. And it's like we've had some deep, some hilarious conversations and some deep ones as well. And I'm like, bruv, people need to know this side of you. Do you know what I mean? But let's take it back anyway, man. Like I was saying, we get introduced to the Task Force Secret Weapon. That's all we know you as.
Yeah.
So when did you become Ramson Badbonez? But, even further back, how did you even find out about rap?
I just grew up around it, man. Just grew up around. My dad was a big hip hop head and big reggae head. My mum was into like soul, funk, hip hop as well. My parents were quite young as well, so their taste in music was kind of like. And I was growing up, I heard like Biggie, I heard Tupac, Nas, Snoop, Busta, all that kind of shit. So I was always around it, man. Obviously, older people that was around, man, uncles, just people in general that I was around, the circles, innit? That's what I was kind of like absorbing it from. The name, Badbonez thing, that was like, weren't that long after the secret weapon shit, because that weren't there for that long.
See, I thought
Just a little while.
I thought you were Ramson Badbonez before the secret weapon shit, but they just said you were the secret weapon. Okay.
Nah, I didn't have a name.
See,
Didn't have a name, innit?
that's hilarious.
Because to be honest, bro, at that point when I was doing all that, I was only like 16, 17. So my mindset then was different, and I was I was more thinking about other stuff, but just basic survival at the time because of the situations man was in. So I didn't really have time to be really sitting and thinking of a name like that. And then one day, me and someone was sitting there chilling. So it just come. The Bad Bones thing was always there from when I was younger, and we was out there doing what we were doing. But the Ramson thing, that come when we come with that idea, and the Ramson thing was the positive, and the Bad Bones was the negative side. And the Ramson is a 3-part, meaning Ra is obviously, that's Ra, son, God. M is for the mind, and son is son of man, son of God. Not no religious shit, bro. I ain't religious on that. Nah. I mean, just the spiritual thing, bro.
You need a bomb for that. See,
and you know what? Even saying that now, I'm like, when I say that, I really mean it in my heart, you know, because you probably hear a lot of people say the same shit, bro. There's a lot of that fake shit out there. But that comes from a real place, the name. You know?
Nah, man, I think people know that for sure. I think people know that, man. You know what I mean? With the body of work you put out already, I know, like, you ain't stopping here. There's a whole bunch more coming. Do you know what I mean? Because you're in a new lane now, in my opinion. You're in the new lane where the creativity, because people obviously know you as an MC, but now the production side has been coming in, and you've already like put a bunch out there. But we'll get into all of that stuff for sure. So how did you end up linking with Task Force? Like, obviously, so it was like you didn't have a rap name, but like you said, you grew up around it. So now you've learned to rap. So that's the other thing as well, is like for us, people that grew up more with sort of American hip hop, people find it weird that when you start rapping with your own voice. But what was it that made you feel comfortable with doing that at that time? Because, you know, it wasn't everyone was doing that back then.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I remember when it was like that. I just didn't feel like it was authentic and organic or real to who I am and what I'm trying to get across. Yeah, because I'm not American from here, innit? So it's got to be me, or it can't be anything. So I feel, man.
Yeah, it's the kind of mad going like, yo, a batter dudes and a rattle fruit. Oh, mum, can you put baked beans on? Put them in the microwave, please.
Yeah. And that was okay at a certain point because thing was still in its early stages of development. And once it goes past a certain thing, or by the time I was coming in, I was kind of like, nah, I want to do my own thing. I want it to be me.
Yeah.
I don't want it to sound like no one else. Can be inspired by different people, but there's a line in it. There's a thin line. Yeah. And I've always felt like I don't want to cross over there. I just want to keep it me, but still keep it different every project, you know, so it don't get boring.
And did you, at that sort of time, did you know of any other like UK rappers like that you know, you could be like, okay, yeah, so-and-so's doing that, so yeah, it's cool to do it?
Not really. I kind of got open up to that when I met Chester and Farmer. I didn't know nothing about any of that.
Yeah, that's
a mutual friend from the area introduced us, isn't it?
A mutual friend in the area.
Yeah, someone that knew us both. I knew him from when we were little kids. Mum knew my mum, all that kind of shit. No, it's like we grew up in the same area, innit? So one kind of knows each other. And he knew Chester and Farmer, and he brung me up there. It was me and my other brethren at the time that I was rolling with. We went up there and we were standing on the balcony and we was just spitting. And then I turned around and I remember just standing there, like raw, just like come in, innit? And rest kind of went from there.
Right. So it was basically just
like first heard Chester, innit? He was sitting there, he was spitting, and my brethren was looking at each other. Oh shit! All right. It made me feel like I need to get my pen game up, even as how old was I? 15, something like that, 14, 15.
Jeez.
It was an eye-opening experience that young, because I had no idea that hip-hop scene or any of that shit existed at all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying as well. It's weird because even though so I remember it was like we used to sneak into my brethren's, his older brother's room, and he was a record collector. So he bought, a bunch of hip hop stuff and that. So we'd always look at it whether it be EPMD covers, and I remember, KRS covers, and looking at it looking at them like they're comic books, you know what I mean? Comic book characters and whatnot. Yeah. And then there would always be one or two that were like UK stuff. So whether it be like the Son of Noise or Hijack, or you know what I mean, there was one or two bits and bobs, and we understood that these are, because my friend was older than me, so he got that. He was like, they're from London, they're from I was like, oh right. But still growing up, didn't really know that there was a scene until, funny enough, linked with them lot is the Mudlums thing. Until
all right.
Hearing about that, and because I'd been to events, but they were it would be like Gravediggers, or it would always be like American acts performing. I'd never been to like a UK only act, and then until I think Mudlums might have been my first one. It was something like that.
All right.
Yeah, but until I wasn't aware that it was that big. You know what I mean? So it's quite kind of mad. But that's actually how we met. How I met Jargon was via. And shout out to Bluefoot. Bluefoot's in the building. That one of the rappers I rap with, Skanky, and I think K-Lover went with him as well. But they went to Mudlums, and then they saw MI5, which was the crew Jargon was in, Valiant, Rest in Peace, and Diligence, and they performed at a Mudlums event. And then them lot, Skanky and saw them and gone, yo, man, they would work well together. Like, they'd probably hear each other and be like, yo, you're sick, And so we linked like that. We ended up just rapping on the phone. Yeah, like he got Jargon's number. I think it was like, yeah. That's for people who don't know, bruv, innit? You used to have ciphers on the phone, bruv, for like an hour and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's like MI5 on that side, and then Genuine Article on this side, and we was all barring, spitting, and, cracking up and all that. It was wicked, man. Yeah, man. But that's, that was the moment where it's like, oh, right. So there's like a UK hip hop scene. There's a bunch of other people that rap, and sound like where they're from as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really.
I only realised that when I kind of met Chess and Farms, and then I started interacting with other people, innit? On the scene, start realising, okay, this is actually something there, innit? I've never realised before. Never realised that at all.
Yeah, it's mad.
Them Kung Fu days, man, that was something else.
Yeah, so what was that like? Considering you didn't know, and then that was probably one of their moments as well, where you're like, oh shit, okay, this is what it is.
But I'm glad I lived through that, man. I feel blessed to have experienced that,
Come on, we're lucky, man. Bunning in, come on.
Good time, man. It really was.
You can't blaze in a rave now. You get fucked up, bro. You go to jail.
Yeah, they fucked up.
Yeah, they'll send you to jail. You're getting fines.
Fines, yeah.
They'll put you on. They'll put you on. You know what I mean? Everybody have got the strap, boy. Beep beep beep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's it. For planning in. But I heard there's some new law anyway, some new driving law or something people are getting excited about as well. To do, pedestrians have got the way. I thought they had the right of way anyway. Like, bruv, stop. Are you going to really knock me over? Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was if you're on the road already.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But anyway. Blue's saying he's got some old footage of Ramson from back.
From the Underworld days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Actually, I saw some of that. Yeah, sick. And he still looks the same, innit?
The old school one.
Apart
Yeah,
from the
boy,
moustache, he
damn.
just got
Fucking hell, bro.
all he's got that's different is the moustache. That's it. It's like he looks exactly the same. But yeah, man, them days were crazy. So that was obviously a sort of healthy breeding ground for yourself as well. Then, like a lot of MCs talk about how that kind of, you know, opened doors for them in a way. And so you'd obviously been doing stuff with Task Force and that, and then you started linking up with Harry after that. Harry Love. Shout out to Harry Love, man. He locks in every now and again.
Yeah, shout out to Harry, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Task Force as well, man.
Definitely.
They definitely helped me to get my foot in the door and you know, position myself in a way where I could maneuver properly, you know, and do what I wanted to do. I think it would have been a bit harder for man, you know, if that never happened, you know. So yeah, shout out to them always, man.
Yeah,
Harry was like, bro, I say to people, like, when we was doing that first project, yeah, I was in between, you know, I was doing what I was doing on the roads at that time. I was still young. Then I was doing the music. I was in between worlds, man. You know, it was me transitioning from there to there. But I never, at the time, you don't know, innit? When I look back with hindsight and I listen to the project, I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it. Harry Love was, I wrote with a lot of people, a lot of great producers, but my experience with him was, it was like magic. Literally, it was like I never even had to even talk that much.
Yeah.
I just understood what we were doing and how we were doing it. Like I remember when I wrote Gingerbread Man, and I didn't write it to a beat or nothing. I wrote it long before I met Harry. I had things there that were just a cappella or written to another beat, you know, and spat it to him, and he made the beat in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
I was just thinking, fucking hell, dude, man. Like I've never seen anyone do that. Not like crazy, you can do it, but making it work is a different thing, you know. Like when it's working, it's like, okay, my man's on shit. But when we did that first thing, we was recording it in Bush. Well, back when it was called Bush, isn't it?
Yeah, Shepherd's Bush, boy. That's back in the
day. Back when it was Bush. And it was, you know, it was what it was, isn't it? But I liked it there because I feel like the energy of what it was there was feeding the music. Yeah. It's feeding the music. That's why it had a certain feel to it, you know? And that's it was a crazy place, but it was the perfect environment to make that project.
And that's the official, innit? The mixtape.
The guy was incredible, man.
Jeez, boy. Yo, can you hear us?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you, man. I thought I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's the official mixtape, right? The volume 1.
The official mixtape, volume 1, yeah.
Yeah. Who's that? Someone said they're still banging that. Yeah. Lawrence Lindberger said he still rocks the Harry Love Ramson mixtape. Pretty sure that's the one, boy. Yeah. And so obviously you.
But then, you know, there's other people that were on there, you know. There's you know, there's other beats on there. There's things like Welcome to the Dark Side. Now, that was produced by Joe Spitz, aka Connoisseur Beats. And I was a part of Berry Crew before.
Wow.
Yeah. But we go way back. Done a lot of shit together. We did Left a Mess and Burning Bushes on volume 2. Produced Love Music EP.
He produced the Love Music EP.
He was part of that as well from back then. You know? So a shout out to him as well, man. That was a memorable experience, man. I'll never forget that. So I always thank Harry for that.
Nah, definitely, man. And you know, one of the illest as well, man. He's definitely laid His mark in the scene. You know what I mean? Like stepped everyone's game up. Levels, man. So
he brung stuff out of me I never even realized I had in myself, bro.
Oh, for real?
You know?
Yeah. I remember,
like, things like children's story, for example. The UK version, my version of the classic Slick Rick. Like when he asked me to do it, in my head I was just thinking, I didn't want to do it, bro. I don't even want to do it, you know. And then what did he say? I can't remember what he said. It's so long ago, bro. It's like 2005. I can't remember what it was he said, but he explained his vision and what he was trying to do, and it clicked. It must have clicked because I read it. And the next day I came and recorded it, and even to this day, people still talk about it.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do it, but he kind of convinced me to do it. You know.
Wow.
So and it worked. So what can you say, bro? The guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a producer right there, man. Yeah, that's a real producer as well, right there. Like saying, look, giving you the vision.
That, man.
Lock
Not just about like making the beat, innit? It's about the vision, innit?
Yeah.
And what you can bring out of the artist, innit? Bringing the best out of them. That's what a producer. That's how I feel.
Yes. No, that's well true. Yeah, that's what a lot of producers, well, so-called producers, don't really do. They don't really get the best out of the artist. But it's hard because a lot of people are working over the internet as well now, so it is hard to like actually work alongside an artist. You've got to be in the studio with them, really.
Yeah, and that's
in the same room is key, man.
Yes, you got to be able to change bits.
I know if I lay something down, like without them, I know it will be cool, but I know if I lay it in the same room, it's going to be the best it can be.
Yeah. You're right. I've listened back to.
I'd rather do it that way if I've got the choice, but obviously, got to work different ways. And
I've listened back to certain recordings, and I can tell the ones where I've done it with people there, compared to when I'm like, oh right, there's a drop in the tone. You're not really. You know what I mean? And I say that to people. I'm like, you know what? When people are there and you're recording, it's better because you actually now you got people to perform to.
We said this about when you're doing a collaborative track with someone as well. That is, it's important to be in the room with them even. That helps you step up your game a little.
It brings more to it. You know, it brings the whole element of a collaboration. It feels like it was a joint effort to put this together, you know, not just like, it's like sonically, you know, there's a feeling to it. It's not just sonically, sorry, there's also a feeling to it. So, you know, that element is always like important. But I do feel like some producers they're not aware that that's also part of, don't be afraid to be a producer. You know, it's not just like you made the beat and done. It's also, oh man, you know, that flow, I think that works on it, you know, that kind of thing as well. So yeah, man. But
if I'm working with someone in the studio, it never crosses my mind not to tell them what to do. I'll never think to myself, oh yeah, maybe I'm overstepping my mark, because I think I want the best out of that person as well. So if I can hear something that maybe they aren't hearing, and I can just stop them and say, look, maybe we could do this, or you could try it out, or add this to it, or whatever, and even just rechanging bits of flows or anything. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's true. And for the MC, like, I'm sure, Bones, you can attest to this, is like, when the producer's happy, then you're happy. It's like, you know that you're not going to please everybody, but you want to make sure that you're pleasing the person that's laying the foundation for you to build upon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's probably like, that's fundamental, man. It's really important, man.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, like you're saying, man, that's how I like to work. I'd rather someone point that shit out or say, yo, this could work better. So this, because the more I try different things, the more you find your feet, the more you find yourself as an artist. You know, don't really know until you push yourself. You know, don't really know what you can do.
And recording's a different process to performing and writing as well. So it's like it's not necessarily going to be your strongest place. So if someone else has done it more than you, then you're probably, you know, you're going to pick up some extra things from them. And the next time you go in the studio with someone, you can then think, oh yeah, what did we do last time? Oh, that worked. Yeah, doubling that thing up there, or doing that, or doing
that's
the ad
exactly
libs.
how man works sometimes, man. Just learning from everyone, taking everything and then applying it as well.
Yeah,
to what I'm doing.
Important, man.
Yeah, man. It's like there's so many different ways, man. So many different ways, but it's just a constant learning process. I don't feel like I'd ever know everything. It's like the more I learn, the more I know I don't know shit, bro.
That's the bottom line, isn't it?
I'm back to the blueprint. That's exactly where I like to be.
Yeah. That's the bottom line. Is the more you're like, oh right, okay, this can go any way you want it to go. You know what I mean? And I think as well that kind of stops you from having any boundaries. Like you're one guy for sure. I know people can definitely agree with that. You know, you take it anywhere. You take it to different dimensions when it comes to stories, or like you'll build characters and whatnot. You know, like, so in terms of creativity when it comes to writing, you know, is there like, did you know, you've stepped into different realms with it and all that. And have you ever felt like, oh, I don't know if people are going to accept this or people are going to take it the right way? Or do you just go with it and you're like, fuck it, I can move on and make the next one anyway?
Yeah, just that. I'll just roll with it, man. Just roll with it, man. What people think is always going to vary, isn't it? Always going to vary. Someone's always going to say something. You just got to make sure that whatever you're doing is true to yourself, you know? And you can live with it. It's like decision making in life, and making decisions can be hard, but like living with it is even harder, isn't it? I feel the same way about making music. I want to put out anything that's not true to me, because if it's not true to me, I doubt other people are gonna feel it, bro. That people will feel it, man, and they might not even know why. You know, it's just not gelling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that
the person's sincere, isn't it, about where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I can hear it in music, man, when it's not sincere. You know, it's just a vibe thing, isn't it? Not even deep when I say energy, innit? It's just what it is.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Okay,
like
where man's coming from, cool, but I know that ain't. That's not the real you, innit? You know, and that's fine. That's what people want to do, innit? I'm not knocking no one. Just I know the difference, innit? And that's kind of what I apply to how I make my music. I'm not trying to do none of that. You know, if everyone's going left, I'm going right, bro.
Yeah. There's always the thing as well that you might be a little bit ahead of your time anyway. So, you know, if you put something out and people don't get it now, they might get it later on. As long as you're
right,
happy with it and excited by it, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and I also feel like there's because you know, like I was saying, you kind of move on anyway. You're like, okay, I made this is how I feel now, and then bam, you move on to the next one. And so even if you don't feel, if you look back at it, whatever, you know, because you're constantly building, you're constantly making anything and creating, and I don't think you should ever sort of dwell on anything for too long. Like we all made that mistake when as you're coming up in it and working on this thing. You know, you can always say, "Oh, this, I should make a single for this and then do a video for this," and you know, you're like, you know what, you do whatever you can, and just make some more, because that's the most important thing, is that you're still creating.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of it. Or unless you just end up at that stagnant point where nothing's really coming, nothing's happening, because you've just been stuck in that same place all the time, you know. But it's tricky. It is tricky to do. That's why I rate what you.
It takes time, man. To get to that, man. Got to be really confident with your art, you know, like your creativity. You got to like really be confident, like, and know that you can do shit, like not just trying a thing, you know. I've been past that, man. Trying to do shit that I know I can do, but it's still challenging for me, because if I'm writing and creating stuff and it's not challenging, I'll get bored quick, bro. I won't even do it. It has to be that, otherwise it's not going to bring the best out. And then I'm not going to feel confident or 100% about product in the end.
Has that happened to you before?
Nah.
I didn't think so.
Nah, I'm not even joking. Nah, I just, but then it's funny because it's my music, innit?
Exactly.
I don't really listen to my own shit. I can't listen to myself, man.
Nah?
Rarely, but nah, not regular, nah.
You're making me feel bad now, man. All I ever listened to.
But when I do hear it, I appreciate it. One of them ones, when I hear it again, I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Yeah.
Well, obviously the shit that you got to perform, that's the shit that you hear.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Got to know that shit, innit?
Yeah.
Apart from that, not on a regular, no.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Yeah, because people that listen to themselves, like there's people
I think I'll
I
lose
know
sight, man. Like you become too close sometimes. You're too close to something, innit? Like it's lack the perspective, innit? That's why if I'm working on something, whether it be like a whole project or one verse or a beat, if I feel like I'm too close to it, or I spent too much time in it, I have to go away and do something else. I've got to just put the pen down or turn the thing off and go and do something else, innit? For a bit, take your mind off it, and it will come. Just can't force it.
Yeah,
it's the worst thing to do.
It's trusting the flow of things, isn't it?
But even that thing of like putting the worst thing you can do as a creative person is try and ignore being creative. So you put all your tools down and go somewhere quiet and never be creative ever again. That will inspire you more than anything to go and create again. So focusing on something, it does cut off your creativity. I think trying to get away from it is a good idea.
Yeah, it's just like
it's
creating breathing space, isn't it, between you and what you're doing.
Yeah,
and
it's
you can
important,
come back to it with like fresh ears. And you hear stuff that you didn't hear before. It's like, Miles, look at the stuff we do, like demo stuff, isn't it? Like we a few times, isn't it? Until man's like, all right, boom, it's the final, isn't it? Because I'm gonna go back and hear stuff, I'm gonna be like, I need to change that, do this, do that. Sometimes it comes out cool one time, innit? But a lot of the time, I want to get the proper perspective on it, because I know when I record it and I listen to it, and then the next day I listen to it, it's gonna be different, bro. It's never the same. Same with beats.
Yeah, like I used to hate. You write the tune, you record it, and then they press it up or whatever, it's out, and then you're performing it, and then after a while, like a few months into performing it, you start switching up certain words because it feels better saying it like this. Or you're like, oh man, I should have said it like that, or I should have said. And then that's when I realized, you know what? Just demo the shit and live with it for a bit. Depending on what, some things have got that, you got deadlines or whatever, but if not, then it's just, record it, just demo it and then live with it. And now that's what I do. And then bam, the shit's just way more fluent. I'm not having to read it, all that bullshit as well. And the words that I think work best with it, like you're getting the best out of it. So I think it is, it's definitely a key thing. And it's more time consuming, like you got to be more patient with it. But, depending on if you're writing on the level, then, you just get as much shit as you can done like that. And it works, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lot got any questions as well for Badbonez, man, hit us up, you know what I mean?
Lawrence Lindbergh saying, what's the go-to on the downtime away for things? So I think what he means is, how long do you have to spend away from something?
No, I think he's asking what's the go-to.
It comes when it comes, isn't it? I wouldn't say that there's a particular amount of time at all. It could range from anything, man. Sometimes it comes straight away. Sometimes it takes a little while. It really all depends on the individual and their creativity, what's going on in their life.
Yeah, for sure.
All kinds of different things. But there is no set time. You know when it comes, innit? It will just come. You'll be like, oh shit, and you just be active, innit?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's funny that like when you lot talking about just getting away from it, that's what happens sometimes. You'd be like, right, you're kind of at a point where you're like, oh, I'm not sure whether this or this, and then you go, all right, let me build a zoo. Bad. It's just like, oh, okay, you have to put it down and then carry. So just take your mind away from it just a little bit, not enough where you're away from it, but yeah, it works, man.
Yeah, I always say the worst thing that a creative person can do is try and get away from it all.
Yeah,
because it's what that silence. As I was saying before, you go to the countryside, you think, I never want to be creative ever again. I just want to get away from doing this. Everything I do is shit, whatever you think. You go into the countryside, you try and get away, look at some sheep, look at the clouds, and then suddenly you're like, no, I've got to write again. It all starts inspiring you all over again.
Yeah. It's very true, man.
You can't get away from it. You can't run away from it.
No, you're right about that.
Yeah, I think it would do a lot more harm than good. To people, man. It wouldn't do good things for them, man. Denying a part of yourself, and
totally
denying that one dimension of yourself that, like, if you got that shit, embrace it, man. Do something with it.
Yeah.
Some people don't. I don't know if they don't have it. Maybe it's not tapped into it, or don't have it. If you have it, try to do something constructive with it. You know.
Yes. Yeah, it's if you've got the ability to create, then it's there to help, convey messages and to help sort of to help other people who might be in the same situation but can't necessarily explain it in the way that an artist can explain something. So, your job as an artist really is to try and make it succinct, because everyone's been moved by a song or by a piece of art in some way.
Yeah.
And so your job is to try and just put it down in a
man. No. But keep it.
That's on point, man.
Keep it exciting for myself at the same time, and fresh for myself. Because that way it's fresh for the listener. If it's not fresh to me, then I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, bro. I just feel like if it doesn't seem fresh to me, then the other people, they're gonna be able to hear that. Or maybe not. Maybe not. But it's gotta be. It can't be the same as some shit I did before, man.
That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you driving on, though.
Different, like Death Mask is different from Mike Day the 13th. Mike Day the 13th is different from Hypnotic. Hypnotic is nothing like Oscar the Slouch, which is nothing like Silver Surfer. Yeah, Silver Surfer. But it's all Ramson Badbonez. It's all the same flavor. It's just different dimensions. So
yeah.
So Lawrence,
Mike Day the 13th is about shit. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. So go on, Mike Day the 13th. Break that down. Oh, can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Hello.
Yo.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh yeah.
It went a bit mad there.
So go on, you was about to break down Mike Day the 13th.
Yeah, for example, that one, there was an EP that came out before it. That was the Jason Bones thing, the white cover thing. That was just called Ramson Badbonez, Jason Bones. That was the introduction to character.
Ah, right. Yeah.
The Mike Day the 13th was his perspective on the hip hop scene. Hence the tunes like Weirdos, Fright and Biters. There's a few others, Face Down Floating. I wanted to just talk about the music scene, but do it in a way that was fun and easy to digest for the listener. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because them kind of concepts and them ideas, if you do it a certain way, it can come off like you're angry or you're bitter or it just weren't the case at all. It isn't. It's just how I felt about it at the time, innit? And obviously the horror thing was the backdrop for it, just to give it that creative twist, you know, to make it unique.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't even know if people clock that, bro. But I think if they hear man say it and then go back and listen to it, it would be, you can't not hear it, you know.
All right, and the hypnotic
was Finger Food. Shout out to Finger Food, man. Make all the beats.
Yeah, big up Finger Food. Jeez, ain't heard that name in a while, bro.
But damn, bro. To be honest, when I was writing that, it was completely different. Like I couldn't sleep for some reason at that time. I weren't able to sleep because I had all these things in my head, all the words, and I couldn't sleep unless I wrote them. So I was up like 2, 3, 4 in the morning writing that shit. I wrote that whole album like that. And then went to Ben's and recorded it with him in like a few days, something like that. That was a completely different process, completely different from like the Harry Love thing. That was like literally piece by piece by piece by piece in it over an amount of time. That was longer than a weekend. That was probably like just under a year. Something like that. Just to get all that shit together. And then the Oscar the Slouch thing, shout out to Charlie Mack.
Yeah, we got Charlie Mack, boy. Jeez. Yeah, Oscar the Slouch.
What was that? We had that idea to do a year in the life of a character. So I just built it on that. I've just based it on some of the real life experiences that I had growing up in London on the streets when I was younger. And just basically, obviously it's based on real events and stuff that was going on, but not as me, as this character, but is based on me. Does that make sense? Like,
it's a projection of you.
Yeah.
A simulation of you. Yeah.
And every month was a track. So what I did was I didn't write anything. I just picked the beats that sounded like the months. I felt like that month. And then
it's like I want you to explain how they would feel like the month, but you can't even explain that, innit? It's like you can't even really.
Can't explain.
Yeah, but I know exactly what you mean.
Can't be explained.
Like I know exactly what you mean, man.
They just are what they are.
Yeah.
But that's how I picked the beats, and then I wrote it. Took like a couple months. It's just me and Charlie Mack going back and forth, recording, changing stuff, adding stuff, taking stuff out. Just over and over and over and over and over and over until we had the thing in it that was like, yeah, it's there now. It's ready. Silver Surfer, I did that. Jazz T and Cygo, shout out to Boot, shout out to them, man. That was more like, I was just exploring verbal gymnastics on that one, man. Shout out to Kashmir though. Because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have did that shit. I've got a lot of respect for my man. He's one of the illest. But when I heard Galactus and they got me involved, I'm pretty sure I said to him, bro, I'm gonna continue it, innit? I'm gonna do Silver Surfer thing, innit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you got you on a Silver Surfer, innit? It was Galactus and Silver Surfer, right?
Yeah, I was Herald of Galactus.
And then after that,
you know, you're gonna do it like that, I have to continue it, innit? It only makes sense. But it was more a verbal gymnastics thing. I was just trying to explore that, just the mathematics and combinations in of flows, syllables, and just different things you could do. Because the production that they had, it worked over that shit. Because their sound is very unique.
Yeah.
You know, but it just fit for me to do that on there. Because like it's kind of, knowing the drums are like kind of not quantized, isn't it?
Yeah, and sparse
sounds like live shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to do certain flows, isn't it? Shit like that on there. So that was how I approached that album. And I did that all mad quick as well. We just sat on it for a long time. Sat on it for like probably a couple of years before we dropped it, but it all got recorded in like a couple months or something. Like
Prolific, boy, prolific. I gotta say, big up as well, because I didn't even know the track that you had me on the Oscar the Slouch thing was called February, because it was just shit. Whatever the weather, I think, innit? And then February, obviously, that's my birth month as well. So I was like, right, boy, that's perfect, bro. That's perfect, man.
That track, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea that would be what it was when I did it, you know, man. And I sent it to you. Because when I was thinking, like when I did it, I knew I was going to send it to you anyway. Because it was the only person I thought I felt like could really deliver what I wanted on there. And I wouldn't have to explain it or anything. Like, I just hear it and kind of know, all right, boom. You know? And a lot of people kind of, I don't know, I've had the thing before where I've sent people shit and they say that they can't do certain flows, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I see that as the perfect opportunity.
I know what you're talking
as an
about.
MC to do that shit. Like, it will bring something else out you don't even know you've got, bro. And then you can adapt it to stuff you're doing as well. You know? It's all part of your development, isn't it?
It is, man. It is. And it's like you said, like you just said, verbal gymnastics, man. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, right. The beat does that. Oh, right. So, and then you just, this is how I would. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to follow what everyone's doing. You just do it how you would, you know what I mean? Make it work. And that's where the magic is right there, man. All right. So break down Death Mask, bruv. Because this one,
Death Mask.
I think even someone mentioned it. Someone mentioned Sarcophagus as well.
Irish.
Like,
shout out to Mark here, man. That guy, Irish. Man, his production is he's on point with his shit, man. Point with his shit. That's why I could do the whole thing with him. But the thing was, how we started that was when I was doing Mike Day the 13th. Obviously, I worked with him from time, bro. I think I did a feature for him something years ago. Always kept in contact. And when I was doing Mike Day the 13th, and I was pulling different producers in, like Ill-Informed,
wow.
I was Jazz T and Zygo. Who else was there? Oh, there was someone else, man. It was, sorry, Mark. It was Mark as well.
Fear, yeah.
And when we was recording that stuff, he'd sent beats in it that I liked, but I didn't want to put on Mike Day the 13th. So I'd already kept stuff there I wanted. And it just happened. I just ended up writing to shit. Ripped to a couple, and I was like, bro, we might as well just do a full thing, innit? So he's basically, I think he's from like, I don't think he's like from Newcastle or something like that. So we weren't even in the same place, but this was like a thing that was done basically on the internet and sent the beats. I took them, recorded them, and sent them back. But the concept, it was more, it's based on ancient Egyptian ritual of death masks, isn't it? You know, what is it? I think, what is it that is it so you can be recognized in the afterlife or something like that? I'm not really too sure, you know, bro.
Yeah, so
but like
they can preserve
when you brought it up, I was like, no, I want to do something, but I want to do something completely different from everything. No like hip hop scene shit, no street shit, no like psychedelic, hypnotic shit. None of that shit. Scientific and educational. So I was thinking, all right, boom, just do everything like that, because it fits with the concept of the album. So things like science class, energy, eternal, jewels and gems. All of that is educational, but done in a way where I didn't want it to sound preachy. Or like I'm trying to tell you what to do. Because that's not even my MO. I'm just trying to plant seeds in people's heads. That's the best thing you can do, really, you know, with that kind of shit. Just try and plant the seed, and you know, through these songs where they feel fun. It feels like yeah, but it's like there's jewels in all that shit. That whole album.
Yeah, for sure.
Tricking people, basically, bro.
Yeah, you're tricking people.
Tricking them, innit? Tricking them into getting some education and knowledge in them.
Right, magic. That's wordplay there, right there, boy. Using your words to draw them in, innit?
Yeah.
And
the beats as well, you know, played a big part. But yeah, that was when did I record it? I think it wasn't that long after Mike Day the 13th. So I probably did them around the same time, bro, to be honest.
Wow,
like working on like bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. That always helps as well, innit? In terms of like getting your mind. If you're like, all right, let me move on to something else, then totally different beat, different energy, and yeah. It's another thing that
way to beat that block shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come away from it a bit more. Like, oh, okay, cool.
But you're still being
go to something else.
Yeah, but still in creative mode with it. That's the thing. Some people don't realize that. That's another thing you can do is just move on to another project, move on to something else, another beat. You know what I mean? And carry on that, and then you end up having more than you you bargained for in the beginning, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Death Mask, man. That definitely maybe. All right, I think a lot of eyebrows raised off the back of that as well.
Okay.
And then all right, so yeah, can you talk about Give Bad Bones a Break as well? That's another project, man, that I think a lot of people...
Okay, going back, Shit. Yeah, I remember all that, man.
Yeah, man.
When I was doing that, it was actually DJ Gone.
Is it?
Wow. To help put that together, to pull people in and get verses and, you know, the loops, and shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
Because him and DJ IQ kind of held me down with that. It was just something that happened, bro. At first, it was just there, we were around. We've got the break, boom, bars, boom, and then it just turned into something.
Okay, shout out to DJ Gone, boy. Jeez.
Yeah, that's old school though, man. That's like
for real.
Whole project, bro. Damn, I forget about that shit, nice, man. Damn, we're going back.
That's because you've done so
much. And then I did the
bro.
second one, innit? Put that out. When was that? Like last year or something? Did the second one, and you're on there as well, bro.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Fucking hell,
I did the second one on my own, innit? I just picked them all myself and just put the project together myself. And
yeah. That's crazy, man. All right, so shout out to Lawrence Limburger. I think the question he asked before was what he was asking was like, what do you do when you're like taking your time off? What do you do do you read a lot? You know what I mean? Play chess? What the hell? I don't know.
But yeah, I read, man. I wouldn't say I read a lot. If I'm into a book, then probably gonna be on it, innit? Reading a lot. But I go in and out of it, man. But at the moment what else? Well, to be honest, you could do anything, man. As long as it's not the music or that particular piece of music, innit? Like you're taking your mind off it, taking your energy off it, and just letting it be for it.
Let it breathe.
doesn't really matter what you do, as long as it ain't destructive. You're not fucking yourself up, innit?
Yeah.
You know, not doing anything that's gonna prevent you from being able to do it, then you should be all right. It'll be cool. You will know when it comes, because it will come. And you'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let's do that now.
For real, boy.
Forget.
All right, and then his second question is, how many days a year are you writing?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I ain't got no clue.
Every day, man.
Nah. Sometimes I need to step back, man. Sometimes you need to decompress from that shit, man. So it can get, it's a lot for the head, innit? But if I'm working on a project, I'm working on an album, trying to be active every day and doing something.
Yeah.
Even if it's just thinking of song ideas, even if it's not writing, just going through beats and trying to get the right song ideas to the right beats, stuff like that.
There's something you said, like, I wonder if, because I've felt like that as well, where there's all this, you got to decompress because there's all these words that are jumbling around in your head, this flow or that bit of the verse, and it, like, I wonder if other MCs go through that as well, where you're like, right, there's a point where you're like, yo, I just need to not hear anything for a while, boy. Just, you know, silence, just off that shit. Like, or is it just me? Is it just me? You know,
no, it's too much for the head, innit? Like, Pray could only take so much, innit?
Yeah, man.
I've got to be easy with it sometimes. Just know when to put the pen down. You know, it's just as important as knowing when to pick it up. Sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
for real. And yeah, I guess I think that's the only thing with writing, you know, because sometimes it would be like 3-4 bits at the same time. I'll go from this, go that, and then that can really mess with you as well, I think, innit? Like, because you're hearing this beat in your head, then you're hearing that beat, and it's sort of like, yo, okay, just back off a bit, just like step back a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's interesting, man.
Yeah.
All right, and then so now, you know, in the recent times, you stepped into the production world, bruv. Like, how did that come about? Because, geez, you've already put a body of work out there. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot more to come. I know. Yeah, man. How did that come about?
There, bro, to be honest, I was making beats when I was like in 14 or 15. Remember in school, yeah, like music, like man had them keyboards in it in the music room.
Casio keyboard.
That was the only lesson I liked, bro. I didn't like nothing else in school, bro. I was like, box. I used to go in, but I got on with the music teacher, innit, because he was cool. He was cool. And I used to make beats on keyboard, innit, when I was like 14, 15, and I did a tape. I'm pretty sure I got an A in music. That's the only thing that I even got graded in, because I wasn't even allowed in the school after a certain amount of time. They wouldn't let me back in. But I got an A in that because of that tape. I was doing it from back then, bruv. And then obviously, for a long time, I weren't around. I wasn't in a situation where I was really around equipment for a long enough time to be able to kind of start fucking with it. And like, I was around people like Harry, I was around like Farmer when I was younger, and see them doing their thing. But when I look back, I feel like it's because of where my head was at as a youngster. I wouldn't have been able to focus, but there was too much going on. I think that's why I kind of steered away from it. But in the past, say like few years, I kind of got back into it a little bit and just been fucking about with it. It's mad. It comes back like riding a bike, bro. It comes back so quick. The only hard part is learning to use the machines and shit like that. You know, so like at first, then it trying to know what it's like about computers and digital shit. Once you like learn how to use it, quick like I was cool that, man. So I was doing it from Time Mice, but kept it on the low and never mentioned it.
Yeah.
So I never really did nothing with it until now.
That was a secret weapon.
Yeah. pretty much. Yeah, I didn't even know it either.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's nuts, man. And then so now you dropped man, good to be part of this as well, man, and the Black Hole Cypher. But you dropped the Lead by Example production LP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got a couple bars on there, innit? Was it all?
Yeah, I'm on a few.
Yeah,
I'm on about 4 tracks, maybe 5. I know there's one with me on my own. There's us lot. There's me, you. But the Black Hole Cypher, that's a bag of us, innit? It's me, you, Joker Star, Kashmir, Tremendous, G-Bag, Jest,
Confucius
MC,
Phoenix, the Ice Fire. Yeah.
Shout out to him. That's family right there.
But you got people like Recognize, you got Sky Zoo, Jux Diamonds.
Sky Zoo, Recognize Ali and fucking and Jux Diamonds, Rex, Rusty Jux, Blacker Stan, R.I.P. Stan. There's a few names on there. True Triller. Man.
How did that come about then, bro?
It's mad how that even happened, bro. Because, like I said, I don't know what it was, man. Something just told me a few years ago. Something's made me feel like, I think it was because I listened to a lot of different music. I listened to a lot of soul, funk, jazz, blues, rock and roll, like orchestral, African funk, Spanish jazz, like everything. And I started hearing the samples and everything. And I started clocking everything. Like that. I'm like, that's from there. That's when I started. I should probably start making beats because I know, kind of understand the samples, innit?
Yeah.
Like fucking around with it. And Phoenix the Ice Fire, I think I played something to him. He heard something. Saying I wanted to put like an instrumental tape out or something. And he was like, yeah, put me in contact with a guy called John from label called New Dawn Records. And I think they put out Phoenix the Ice Fire's album Panacea that dropped around the same time as Death Master did that drop. But the guy like John heard the beats and he said, would you want to do like an album and get people from the UK? I can get people from like US, like Canada as well. And at first I was kind of a bit like, it's gonna be mad long, like people are gonna be long. But in the end, I was like, let's just do it and see what happens. And then it come together quite quick, The album didn't take long to do it all, man. That's a shout out to John, man, because he really made that happen, man.
It's crazy, boy.
I was just sending him the beats and he was sending it to people, innit? Just negotiating with them. And obviously people from the UK, I kind of pull people in from that side.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a surprise. I didn't expect that to happen. That was completely unplanned.
Yeah, that was levels, man. Boy, you pulled it together neatly, bruv. That was a tight package there, man, definitely. So yeah, that's put you on the map for production. So of course, like we're saying, there's going to be a lot more coming from that side as well then. And so how have you split it up now then? Is it like a case of, because obviously you've become a beat head off the back of like, producing an album like that. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other production. And then how is it like splitting up the time, or does it just whenever the mood takes you, whenever you feel like, all right, yeah, I feel like making a beat now, or, how is that? Like, how does that work? Like, if you could talk about the process and,
it's kind of the same as the bars, man. It comes when it comes in. When it's there, I know. But the only difference I would say is that I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Maybe I'm operating a slightly different part of the brain or whatever. But when I'm making beats, I find it easier to do when I'm writing. It's less on the head. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just less. It's kind of like No, just having fun. It's like playing a fucking computer game sometimes. That's what it's like.
Play the computer game. That's deep.
Yeah, it's literally like that, man.
Yeah. Because then there's obviously a fun
it's
element.
easier to do. I can get into it easy and stay there I can stay there for the whole day, bro.
And it's fun. Yeah.
If I could, I probably would.
And it's fun as opposed to writing, which can be like a head fuck where you're just stuck on the ends of 2 lines for ages. And just going, but
not even anything like that. Not really getting stuck or anything. Just like I just feel it's gonna sound strange, but like it's like more peaceful. Feel more at peace when I'm making beat than when I'm writing. Not to say I feel fucked up when I'm writing. Fucked up. Like I'm cool. I just when I'm making beat, I'm not thinking of words, innit?
Yeah.
I'm just dealing with sounds. And building something. Words, like for me it does a different thing to my brain. The word thing. Than sitting there making a beat, bro. That's heaven. I understand why people do that shit. Fucking the whole day, whole night. Don't even move, bro. Because once you get into that world, you don't even want to leave, man.
Yeah.
Writing, I can take it or leave it. But if I really like something, I'm really feeling a beat and it really draws something out like that, it's just as enjoyable as production. But production, I always get that when I'm there. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I just roll with it because it feels right. Sometimes I don't feel like got to understand shit, you know. Everything, you know. I was saying before that I don't even think certain things are meant to be understood by us at this point. You know, just gotta roll with it.
It's funny because we were talking about that with the flat earth thing. It's like, brother, I don't think we're supposed to know you, like, because if man is still arguing about this shit all now, like how many millions of years later, then boy, maybe we're not supposed to know. Like you said, you can still roll, whether it's flat or it's round, you can still roll with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's something you said, Mice, ages ago about the putting rhymes together is like a puzzle. So you're having to solve a puzzle. Whereas music isn't really like that. Yeah, making music is not the same sort of thing. You're sort of laying up bliss with music instead. You know, you're laying up like layers of feeling good every time you add something else to it that you go, that feels good. You know, and then, it is a completely different vibe.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, I get that.
Having to solve puzzles all the time. More One on Twitch.
Shout out to More One. What's going on, bruv? He says I need to get on a Badbonez beat. Oh, hey, that'll be sick, man. More One on the Badbonez beat. Yeah, boy. Big up to More One, man. Definitely a sick MC, boy. Out there doing his thing, man, for sure. Shout out to Dr. Evil O. Yes, salute to you, man.
Twitch is on fire. Twitch is on fire. We've got 2 people on Twitch.
Oh, what? Wow, Twitch is going off, bruv. Bruv, you want to be at the Twitch party? Shout out to Spud Gun. He says, yeah, Ramson, big up. His school career was the same. Music was it. And he got a B. The only one he got. And he says, yes, brother, keep going. Big up Mice and the crew. Of course, man. Of course, we keep doing this, man. Some shit you might not never know nothing about. And before we go on, I got a shout out to the Connoisseurs UK for all you people out there that love your CBD products. Trust, this is the place to go because you're getting it clean. I'll point this out. Look, you have 3 versions of the CBD in any of these products. Yeah, you got the sativa CBD, you got indica dominant CBD. And then you got the full spectrum. That's how deep they get. Yeah. So if you're going sativa, what's sativa, Dan? Which one is sativa?
The sativa's the opposite to leaning back in a car.
You know what I mean? So you might get a little bit more like, I want to do some work now. Now, it ain't really like that, though. It's not like having a coffee, but it can give you that effect, you know, depending on where your what your makeup is, you know what I mean, in terms of receptors for the cannabinoids. But say you're going sativa, yeah? Sativas, what they've got is a whole plant extract from CO2 extraction, yeah? This offers the full range of the cannabinoids, terpenes, flavonoids, and phenols. Oh, it feels good saying that. It's clean. When I'm telling you this shit is clean. The extract contains not only 14% CBD, but also other cannabinoids, primarily CBC, CBG, and CBDA. You know what I mean? There's levels to this.
There's a lot of different types of CBs.
Yeah, man. The most frequently occurring terpenes, this CBD extract, are mycene. I think I'm saying that right. I ain't going to try and say the rest, though. Because it says beta-caryophyllene, yeah. Terpenols, linalool. Yeah, it's getting deep. But that's how deep they go, man. Canisters UK. And you can read this up on their CBD detail if you go to canistersuk.com.
Or watch the show or listen to the podcast we've done with Canisters.
Yes, definitely,
Very informative.
Man. Hey, Sam Evans, man, he came through and just broke down what this shit is really about. If you don't understand what CBD, you know, what it does or how it helps you, that episode will definitely break it down for you. But he's got a whole bunch of different products up on the website. They've got the Belgian chocolate bars, you know what I mean? You know you're into your Belgian chocolate, D. You want indica, you want sativa, that's there for you, man. You got 100% natural CBD balms as well, so you can get sativa or indica of them. You've also got the oil spray, so you just spray it under the tongue, crack, crack, bam. Hold that under your tongue for like 2-3 minutes.
20 minutes longer.
Yeah. So, or you can do it for 20 minutes.
20 minutes longer.
Apparently for 20 minutes, that's your bloodstream, you know, the flow of blood apparently passes through your whole body like every 20 minutes. So if you leave it under your tongue, that's meant to be the
full cycle, full spectrum, full wash, full spectrum.
That's what it's fully in there. Go 40 minutes, bam, you done that twice, bruv. Your CBD up. Trust me. Your CBD up. Yeah. So you got sativa and you got indica variations, as well as you got the full spectrum. You can get the coconut oil as well. And of course, shout out to your Moore. She's shouting at the chocolate stirrers. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chocolate stirrer crew. That's then, you know what chocolate stirrer is? Badbonez, you know about chocolate stirrers? So you get, there's like, bam, there's like a bit stick like that. There's a bit of chocolate. You think you're supposed to eat it. You think you're supposed to do that shit, yeah? But now you're supposed to get hot water, put it in a cup, bam, put the chocolate stirrer in there, just start stirring around. Ooh! The shit starts chocolating up, and then bam, you got a hot chocolate, CBD'd up. You're just like, yeah. If you go straight away, though, you burn your tongue. Yeah, but it's banging, though.
That sounds alright, though.
Yeah, man. Nice. And bruv, and I'll tell you what, it definitely helps with your sleep. Like you find yourself waking up, like I keep saying, like a bed of clouds. And the thing is, even if you ain't slept that long, bruv, you feel like you've had a good sleep. Do you know what I mean? So there's something going on with it, like a baby. And we found out that the CBD, do you know there's CBD in breast milk? Yeah. There's cannabinoids in breast milk, yeah. That's why the baby just cotch, like, yeah, bam. Then they wake up straight away. Yeah, I want to do this. Like, come on, man. Yeah. That's why. They wake up cool. Like, bruv, you only slept for 2 hours, man. How the hell are you so awake? The baby's like, come on, man, let's go do something. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, man, hit up canistersuk.com. And if you type in SYMNNKNA, that's something you might not never know nothing about as an acronym. You can get 20% off any order from that website. That's canistersuk.com. Hit them up and make sure you get some clean ass CBD products. Make sure you clean your ass as well before you get on that computer, man. Dirty mother. Hey, shout out to John Manson, man. Big up the crew locked in. Shout out to Turbo Tubalicious. What's going on, bruv? Watch him now. Alex Jones money, boy. Yeah, man, we ain't out here doing that. See, you just have one flat earther and that's it. Now you're Alex Jones. What's going on out here, man?
I'd love to sell water filters.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, the water distillers. I
Or that
prefer to.
phytoplankton. Imagine getting that phytoplankton deal.
Jeez. Man, know about phytoplankton. Does anyone out there know about phytoplankton? I don't know.
Not yet.
One day we'll all be swimming in phytoplankton, man. Living life how we're supposed to. Getting grounded out here, bitches and bitchettes. You put yours in coffee. CBD in the coffee, yeah?
It's chocolate stir in the coffee, yeah.
Ross.
It's a mochaccino or some sort of coffee mocha.
Yeah,
coffee
I guess
thing.
that's the two extremes, isn't it? It's like, you know what I mean? Hype and then, unless she's getting sativa, then she's full on the hype, but that's full on the hype. Sativa and the coffee, yeah, that's when you fuck
You have
up.
to use it
in the morning.
the car.
Yeah, when you don't realize, by the way, let's have a roll call. That's what we're going to call it from now on, a roll call. Yeah, will you lot, a roll call? Will you lot blazing out there, you know what I mean? What's going on out there? Hit us up in the comments with the roll call, baby. Hey. What we got? We're on some ice cream cake. We got a few dabs as well. And then what else is it? Oh yeah, key lime pie. You know what I mean? Rolling deep, man. What's the roll call out there, man? We lot blazing. Hey. Yeah,
Them dabs though, boy. That shit is serious, isn't it? Damn.
Dabs are crazy, isn't it? Yeah, let's do a little dab now.
That's
boys.
my game, boy.
You know what I mean?
That's inspired you to do a dab.
Yeah. Have I got it with me? I don't know if I got the machine, man. Yeah, dabs, boy. It's clean though. That's the thing about it, man.
It involves machinery though, does it?
Yeah, it involves machinery, but you know, as long as it's safe machinery. The thing is, like proper dabs is you're using like one of them
blowtorch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people
starts looking a bit.
Yeah.
Like you're serious about
serious
about
we got
drugs.
that glass pipe, boy. Yeah, you start
Looking a
sucking
bit
on that
Jack
glass
City,
pipe.
yeah,
People like, right, bro. I see my man the other day just in the corner sucking on some glass pipe. I was like, nah, I ain't bubbles.
Yeah.
He started coughing heavy. It was like he had that crack cough. They'll
it looks
instantly
weird.
be like, yeah, crackhead cough. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro, man. I'm doing a dab.
It's COVID. Calm down.
Oh, these lot showing off. See, this is what I'm talking about. Cookie dog. Wow, your more's on the cookie dog. Tubbs is on the runts and cookies. Jeez, spud gun, wedding cake, vape in the house. Jeez, Irish is saying orange pie. Okay.
I'll be on an IV of Guinness tomorrow.
IV of Guinness. That is hilarious. Strawberry glue and the dog for Lawrence Limburger. Woo! Sounded good, boy. That's the sessions we like to hear. These like, Jesus Christ, man. These just sound like
like sweets.
Yeah. I was gonna say like pastries and shit.
Yeah.
Like desserts.
Yeah.
It
does, yeah. It sounds like everyone's just eating too much cake. A lot of cake names. A lot of cake names in there, isn't there? A lot
cookies. Yeah. I think it kind of helps.
lot of treats.
It helps.
Things, a lot of weed named after treats.
Yeah. There's some
Treat
messed up
yourself.
names like dog's breath and no peanut butter breath. There's one called. It's like, why would you call it? Yeah, it's hilarious though, man. But yeah, man, shout out to the roll call, man. We got Ramson Badbonez up here. Some shit you might not never know nothing about. He's got a single out right about now. That's hitting the share waves. Produced by Jest, called Alpha. So go and look that up out on the High Focus YouTube. Do you know what I mean? We got to support the homegrown talent always, man. Especially when they're on this level. Do you know what I mean? Like you can definitely go check out the guy's catalog, and I'm sure you people know, man. You know what I mean already. Like people in the chat room know because they've already been saying. Somebody said junkie group chat. Fuck off, man. Junkie group chat. Bruv, do you know what's mad? Yeah, shout out to Irish. Why said junkie group chat and that. But listen, it's messed up, yeah, that people don't look at things like paracetamol and cough mixture, Lemsip, They don't look at them shits like they're drugs.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like when mum say junkie group chat, it's like, bruv, there's bare junkies out there, but even with caffeine, you know what I mean? All them coffee heads, they don't realize, like, bruv, you're hooked. Like you're basically, you're the same. You're a brownhead. You're a crackhead. Like, but on the different, on the different scale, because it's every day. And if I don't have my coffee, then and people like that, like, bruv, you need to get off that shit, man.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. You know what I mean? But it's mad how we don't look at none of that shit like it's drugs.
Yeah. Voltarol, steroid cream. But it's a steroid.
Steroid cream, isn't it? It's true, Pepto-Bismol.
Ibuprofen, just everyday stuff.
Yeah. Like everyday stuff, It's like, bruv, you got a headache, drink some water. You're probably dehydrated. Go drink some water, man.
Yeah.
Dehydrated.
Yeah, man. I'll be sitting there, bruv, you got any... Like, bruv, get the fuck out of my face. Go drink some water, man. Like, taking some deep breaths. Go like, some deep, what's it called? Wim Hof. Get rid of that headache with some Wim Hof. Fucking, you know what I mean? Some deep breathing, man. Yeah, most of the time, man's just dehydrated. It's all them coffees, bro. You know what I mean? It's all them coffees doing that shit to you. Yeah, man. So
it's
anyway.
because the shit's more like socially accepted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Them kind of things like that's why people just like, it's all right. It's all right. It's like, you man, I'm hooked, boy. They don't realise, boy.
And the price as well. It's when you add up how much coffee costs, it is fucking expensive.
Price of cigarettes as well, bro.
Yeah, cigarettes.
Like, I remember going halves on the cigarette. And man was remember like in like secondary school, like first year and shit, like go halves in and fag and all that. And like, yeah, it was like what, like £2. It's not even sometimes even cheaper. Box of 10. I don't know how much they are now though, bro. But no, it's mad, bro.
It's about 11 quid for 20.
Expensive.
Yeah. People still go in. They're like, fuck it, bro.
Yeah.
So like, so that's now, it's more or less doubled, isn't
but
it?
like the coffee and tea helps people go to work. That's why they think that's why they're never going to ban it.
Nah, that's
they're
why
never going to ban
everywhere.
coffee and tea.
Nah,
because
it's
they're
everywhere.
like, well, you all need that to go and earn money for us. So
just get over all the alcohol and cigarettes.
The cigarettes are for the nerves. The alcohol is to just drown all your sorrows. All the things that are legal have all got their uses, haven't they, for keeping you in the system in some way.
That's true.
Yeah, alcohol just pacify you, innit?
Yeah.
Pacify you, mate. Nah, it's all right, mate. It's all right. It's all right.
That's it.
It's a little party in a bottle.
Rather than doing a falling down and just losing your shit with a rifle around the city, they want you to just go to the pub.
That's what would happen though, man.
Yeah.
Some people just snap.
Yeah.
Just be like, fuck it.
Wasn't it the coffee the
man.
falling down dude? Wasn't it the coffee where he switched? Where he was gonna order his coffee, go to work or some shit. And then that's like, it was in the...
Oh, he's going for the breakfast.
Yeah, it was the breakfast.
Yeah, they stopped doing breakfast. Yeah.
They call that the fucking machine gun.
Yeah.
Yo, man,
it was like the McDonald's one. That's the McDonald's bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's trying to get the breakfast in it.
Yeah,
He's like 2 minutes
finished. Yeah.
After, innit? He's trying to go on sleep. But they should have knew from when he walked in.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, just don't fuck with this guy.
Mama was fuming. He didn't get the breakfast. 2 minutes late for the breakfast. He's like, yo, that's it. I'm popping off. Like everyone's getting it now. Like, really getting scrambled eggs. Little coffee. That's how people go. He don't realize it's the work doing that shit. Like, you're 2 minutes late, man. But it's your work. It's the shit, the life that you're living. That's fucked you up. Now you're like, yo, bro. What do you mean there's no scramble?
That shit's so funny, bro. Because it's like, man. It's just the perfect example, isn't it? Of someone just had enough, innit?
Yeah,
man. He switched,
just had enough, bro. He's feeling a mad one, bro. Yeah, that's funny shit.
Crazy, bruv. Yeah, man. So, let's get back to this, man. So, Alpha, can you talk about this track? Produced by Jest. And out right now. Available.
Yeah. Shout out to Jest, man. Was like done bits here and there with him. He was on the Silver Surfer shit. Get back on it's great. But yeah, basically we recorded an album. He recorded the whole thing with me, but it's not always production. That's the one beat he's got on there. There's a few other different people, different producers involved with it. That's what Alpha's off. That's going to be coming soon. To be honest, I don't know. I just heard the beat and felt like it fit with what I was trying to create on that album. Like sonically, it just fit. And kind of just writing about growing up when I was younger in London, and some of the older people that were around me that kind of looking out for me. So when I was 15, something like that, I was out there. I was living on the street. I was just doing my own thing. And
Badbonez era.
Well, sorry.
Badbonez era.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and one of my brethren, his older brother, this woman was growing up in just on the border of Islington and Hackney, but I originally grew up in Dalston. So his brother and a couple other people, they were doing what they were doing. The ends had dead little operations going. They were doing, and I got close with the olders because I was good at basketball when I was younger, and I used to basically just twist everyone up, but I did it in a respectful way, and like, I just formed a friendship with them, these older dudes, and they kind of looked at me like we're not even trying to involve you. It wasn't even like that. They were kind of like, we're one of the people that can actually do something else, you know, just keep doing what they're doing. But then as my situation got worse, it's got harder and harder. They see that, and obviously they started just showing me how to survive, how to do certain things in a certain way that, you know, doing fucked up things, but in a sensible way to decrease the chances of me getting fucked up or locked up, basically. Wasn't really a choice thing, brother. It was more circumstance when I look back. It was just what I was in at the time. And they looked at it for me a lot at the time. So that's what that song was really about. The name of it, Alpha, that will be more explained when the whole album's revealed.
Yeah. We ain't gonna, you know, we ain't gonna delve too deep.
And see the whole thing, be like, oh, okay, right. But yeah, that's what that song's about. Kind of reminiscent of them days.
Yeah, man. Interesting. It's gonna be. I think it's
quite lucky as well, and I'm thankful for those people, because without them, I don't know where I would have been, bro. You know, anything could have happened.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's the video right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, Alpha, Ramson Badbonez, Bad New, produced by Jest. Sorry, man. I did that dab there. I did that dab there, man. It hit me. I tried to style it out. Shout out to King Chico in the building. You know what I mean? Big up the People's Army.
Yeah. Big up People's Army, bro, man.
Sure, man. You lot hit that like and subscribe and share button. Whichever one feels, you know what I mean? You don't have to be in that order. Whichever one you feel comfortable hitting first. If you ain't hit it already, man, we appreciate that, mother lovers. Some shit you might not never know nothing about. And yeah, man, like we said, so this project is coming. That's as much as we can really say, because you know. But I man, you know, I've been lucky enough to get to hear it. Oh boy, like it's very interesting, bruv. There's some very, very, very high level quality tunes on there. I think a lot of people are going to appreciate, man. And it's something I could hear you, like I say, and I could hear you doing this shit already. So it's weird as it was a shock, like, oh right, this is happening. But then hearing it, I was like, yeah, this is, you know, for real. You got that all day, man. So yeah, no spoilers for for real. There's no spoilers, brother lovers. You know what I mean? Well, you got the alpha there. You know what I mean? You got to guess what's next. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, boy.
Yeah, next one coming soon, man. Next one coming soon, man.
Next video.
We've got the next one coming soon, innit?
Mm.
Next video is going to be coming soon, man. But that idea, bruv, I had it for time. It was one of them ideas for a song I had for a little while, innit? But just never heard the right beat. And as soon as I heard that beat, I was like, yeah, that's the one, bro.
So like now you're producing more, do you find yourself writing a lot to your own beats, or are you still as open as you were when you were just writing to you know, like working with other people? Because it seems like you are, because you're obviously doing so, but what?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, man. Pretty much the same. Sometimes I write to my own shit, but then there's stuff that I just hide it, innit? I don't play it to no one. Because I know what it's like, man. Play certain beats to rappers, my man will fall in love with it and tell them that like you're using it or whatever. But it's the same thing with my own beats, brothers, other people's shit. But with my own shit, it has to really be one of the ones that I'm in a fucking hurry to spit on, you know? Not everything I feel like that about. I like it, but I'm not in a hurry to really spit on it. But I can if I want.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I always find it interesting when rappers that produce as well, like whether they get the thing is about it is obviously you're making the beat, so you're sitting with it a lot longer than if you get sent a beat and then something sparks, you know what I mean? But in that sense, you've already got a vibe for it. You've already got an attachment to it that where you can hear a certain way that you might, you know what I mean, write to it, or, you know, you can hear a certain type of chorus, a certain type of flow or cadence or whatever. So does it become that, like, you can, you know, you're more or less making a beat and you could probably write to it straight away? Or are there still beats that you're making where you're like, all right, I can hear so-and-so on that, or nah, this ain't really me, but it's, you know what I mean, it's me type thing. Me rapping on it.
Yeah, both to be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Bit of both, yeah. Certain things I hear, I'm like, I think it would sound better with someone else. A certain rapper, well, rapper could be a vocalist, be anything. But there are certain ones that I've made, and when I'm making, kind of got the idea for the song in my head, when I'm making it. But that doesn't happen all the time. It's got to have. That's another thing that's just got to kind of happen, and just happens. I don't even know how. It just happens. But most of the time, sometimes I'm like to make shit, put it away, don't even hear it at the time, bro. Forget about it, and then go back to it. Like, oh, fucking hell, I forgot about this, and then something just comes. Yeah, creativity is mad, bro. It swings in mad roundabouts, bro. You never know how it's gonna come or when.
Yeah. It just comes in it. When it comes, it comes. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's important to know when it comes, because I think sometimes it comes, but I think sometimes if people ain't aware of it, that's what it is. That thing they're feeling, tend not to act on it. Wow. You know? But when you know that's what it is, you can start managing your own creativity in a much more effective way than just throwing blows in the dark, bro.
So
like
you
trying a thing, but not really knowing where it's coming from, like, or what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So you mean
just
like
doing some derivative shit?
Those sort of you can get those sort of whiffs of, there's like something comes along and then bam, you're like, oh yeah, maybe this, and then you try it, and then you're like, oh, maybe, and you start thinking about it too much, and then it goes, innit? And then bam, you don't realize that was actually the wave that you should have carried on with. You know, when we're talking about in terms of production, writing, you know, like creativity, more or less, innit? There's obviously like waves of creativity that come along whilst you're in the process. And like you're saying, sometimes you overlook, you know, a certain wave that probably was it. And then now you're spending way more time than you needed to on this thing. That's happened to me, definitely, man. I think it happens when you're trying to produce the best thing out of it, you know, come up with the best thing. Shout out, we got a listener in from Japan. Shout to VMOG Jinryu in the building. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate all the listeners, man. Chatting here with Ramson Badbonez, one of the illest on this planet or this plane, whichever you know what I mean. We don't discriminate over here. But yeah, man, one of the sickest, bruv. Speaking of which, man, so what's the, you know, because you got pretty, there's deep stuff in what you talk about, like obviously in this new project as well. I've heard there's some stuff you talk about where I'm like, all right, and we've had our conversations, so I know you're clued up. And when was your moment of sort of waking up to the reality of what this world is? You know, and how did you deal with the whole lockdown, blah, 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 and all that business once it hit us?
I think that because when I was growing up, there wasn't any real authority that I really respected. Like, obviously, like your parents sometimes try and be authoritarian, get school, people, but I always rebelled against it. I don't know why. From primary school, from as far back as I can remember, I would not go along with the program. Because I knew it was a program, I wouldn't go along with it, and I couldn't. Obviously, as a kid, you can't articulate why, innit? Just feel it, and you're like, nah, man, nah. So when all this stuff happened, my response was just like, nah, like the authority, the control side of it. Well, I'm not. That's not working on.
Yeah.
It's not working. Take a lot more than people trying to convince me or coerce me. Because I know the difference between something that's truth or fabricated. No matter how man want to twist it, bend it, dress it up, put lights on it, whatever, it doesn't matter. I can see what it is. Yeah, it's just some bullshit, man. Everyone just got mad shook. I was like, boy, I understand if you've got it or something, like whatever in it, you gotta do. Saying to someone before, like, I think it was when it first happened, I'm saying to man something about, what is it? We got in a cab or something like that. Man saying to me to put my mask on, and I was just like, bro, just calm down, innit? Just like the car. I remember saying, oh, if the person with me saying if he asked me, I would just like put it on. But I was like, bro, I'm not really having man tell me what to do, bro. Like, let other people do what they're doing, innit? You know? So just let me do what I'm doing. I'm not fucking with nobody. I feel like it's all some control shit, bro. A lot of it. You know? That's how I feel, man. And it works on people because a lot of people are just, they're conditioned anyway. They're conditioned for it. So when these men give certain cues and they start fucking with your head, start making you fearful, you know, it's just easy, man. It's easy to get people like that. But if you come from a place where you don't really respond to that kind of authority like that, then your reaction is going to be different. So that's why mine is. But yeah, it's all madness, man.
Yeah, you're madness, right. Man. It does feel like that. Nuts, it does feel like that. The more people I talk to about it, is the more I realize, like, right, it's like the people that where school, you know, they could have done well if they really put their mind to it, but something was just telling them, like, you know what I mean? Now they just laugh. Yeah, exactly. You're laughing now, like, oh, that's what it was. This whole shit is just designed to try and trick me to think that the world is this way when really it's this way. You know what I mean? It's that way. So it's amazing, man, to see it. It's like, wow, there's some real weird shift in the way that everything looks and everything seems and everything feels, you know what I mean? And that whole, like, you know, the first shall be last type scenario.
For me, it's definitely helped sort out the wheat from the boys from the chaff.
Oh, it's working a great filter.
Great filter,
yeah, great filter. Spot on, man. It's the perfect filter, but you're like, oh, just like that.
I remember in school I used to get so much shit for it, bro, like for not wanting to go along with the program. I was one of them people that could have easily excelled in school. Like in secondary school, I had a couple of teachers that were decent. Like, most of the teachers were dickheads, but like a couple that were all right. Always like, Barry, why don't you just do the work? Stop fucking about. You're smarter than a lot of people. Just do it. But like, same like it's that thing. I just didn't want to do it.
Your spirit,
like, fuck this, man. I don't want to do it. You know, even from primary school, brother, I remember, like, say, I don't know, they were doing a play or something like that. I weren't doing that shit. Like, I was a stubborn kid. Like, I was like, nah, I ain't doing it. And they'd be like, oh, we're gonna call you. They'll try and threaten you, innit? I'll call your mum, this and that. I was like, call my mum, I don't care. I don't care. You have to do it. It's like, why am I doing it then? But I have to do it. And that pissed them off. Like, they really didn't like it, man. So I used to get given a hard time, man. But I never changed because I just felt like, what's the point, man? Like, I'm always going to be like this anyway. So I might as well just be me, innit? And if they can't deal with it, then that's their problem. But people always trying to trick people, bro. You know? They've got everyone acting like fucking, well, not so much now, but at first, people acting like some fucking prison wardens, boy, and acting like some police. Like, you got to have the thing on, you got to do this and that, you got to know you can walk one way. I weren't doing none of that shit, bro. And again, I got people trying to give me shit for it. But I just had to tell them, innit, what it was, innit? And just leave it at that. Because
they loved it.
Bro, I know the difference, innit, between people bullshitting me and when they're not. Man.
People love telling other people what to do all of a sudden. They loved it. They loved coming up to you and saying, you know, this is all like
prefect there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're supposed to walk around that way. Excuse me, he said to walk around that way. You got to walk around that way. Yeah, bro,
I just looked at people like, whatever, mate. Like, whatever makes you feel better, innit? Like, but
yeah.
You can't force me to do anything. You know, I'm not gonna do it. I remember walking into, I think it was a Saints or something like that. This is when it first happened, bro. So it was still really fresh, and there was a queue, but I didn't even pay no attention. I just walked, and I walked in, and the security guard was there, and he's put out his hand back, and just instinctively, I just moved his hand. I was like, "What are you doing, man? Like, don't put your hand out to me, bro." I just picked up the basket and walked off. But by the time I got to the end of the aisle, I clocked in it. I was like, "Oh shit, it's this COVID shit, innit?" Felt a bit bad, innit? I was like, "Oh," but I was already had like 3 items in there. I already had done half my shit, so I done my shopping. Shit, come out. The guy couldn't even look at me, man, because I was gonna say to him like, "Sorry, bro, I didn't realize, innit? My bad, innit?" He wouldn't even look at me, man. So, okay, whatever, innit? But yeah, to me, man, I'm like, I'm not going along with that shit, man. Because there's just something don't feel right, and it looks bait anyway. Man, switch the goalposts way too many times.
Yeah, it's too many.
You know what I mean? Man, to believe anything. It's like, there's no consistency. In what man are saying at all. It's the same old shit. Isn't it?
He was telling a story about someone recently going on the airplane and like the kind of mask they had to wear.
Might be.
Damn.
It's like, bruv, they made man wear a balaclava on the plane because he didn't have a mask. So they're just like, all right, he goes, I got a balaclava though. That's it. And they go, okay, put on the balaclava. Imagine now, you can go on the plane wearing a balaclava.
No, yeah. Imagine 2001. Imagine September 2001. You put a balaclava on.
Wow, get the balaclava out, man. It's time to get the balaclavas out, fam. What? That's it. I'm taking the balaclava with me, bruv. This is all I got. Bam, all right, cool.
I'll be cracking up if I see that, man. Nah, it's too funny.
Yo, yeah, outbound. Yeah, I'll do a post. Yo, they're nuts, man. The goalposts are all shifting, all kind of different dimensions, bruv. You're getting 70 shift of the goalpost now. Like, what? I could go.
Yeah,
but I
there's
can't.
no consistency in what someone's saying. It's to be questioned, isn't it? At least.
Yeah.
It's just funny that people don't question shit. Just go along with shit. Go along with shit. Yeah. I learned as a youngster to question everything, innit? Question everything, man.
Yeah.
And it's so deep that, you know, you're saying that, but they've managed to make people who question everything sound like they're crazy or sound like they're stupid or something. Yeah, it's like, what?
They got to discredit, man, somehow.
It's crazy, bro. It's nuts.
Just the fact they put up some kind of resistance kind of makes it look dodgy anyway, because if there's nothing true, man, what man's saying, or it's like you wouldn't even have to put up a resistance, man.
Madness, man.
It's true.
Yeah. Madness,
it would be so if what you were saying was so ridiculous, then they wouldn't even have to entertain it. But the fact that they have to constantly put up this thing saying, ask your GP about the truth about the vaccine, or ask your GP about the truth about the COVID, or you know, if it was true, you'd know it was true. There wouldn't be any question about it. And if what you were saying was bullshit, they wouldn't have to even talk about it. But you should be able to say what you want anyway, and talk about what you want. It's regardless of all. You know, you shouldn't be getting shut down just because you're talking about something, or you know, we can see that they sort of shadow ban people's accounts for talking about certain things on social media and all that sort of. You know, there shouldn't be any of that.
Yeah, when you see with that, you're just like, well, why are you man trying to shut them down for then?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah, exactly.
Bait shit.
Yeah, it happens too much as well now. You can see you're like, okay. And even that makes it obvious, you know what I mean? Like, all the people they're shutting down, like, oh, right, so they must be saying something that.
But yeah, the good thing is we've had 2 years of you know, constant media lies and government lies, and now people can see.
Undeniable.
Now people can just see how much bullshit it is, and they won't just follow the next thing the media comes out with and so just suddenly jump on board with the next. Oh no, they did. Oh yeah, no, sorry, they did.
Bruv. But you know, you say that, and it's like, I don't know, man. People still follow the shit.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, man, you know, hopefully the game gon' change. They've opened it up now. Now I'm more confident with this whole talk about restrictions being done. Before it didn't. I was like, hold on a minute, man still got to do.
Thought there was like a sucker punch coming.
Yeah,
they're gonna say, oh, we're lifting the restrictions, but
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we're good now. You know what I mean? We're good. Everyone should just start smiling again. Just be happy. You know what I mean? Stop being so scared of each other, and you know, let's just open up again. Like, just forget about
Sitting down on the train, man, just staring at man, like just looking in my face, like staring at exactly got mask. I'll just look at them, innit? Like, just smile at them, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Kill them with a smile, man. That's what I say. Kill them with a smile, bro. Like, oh yeah, how often do you see this now? Huh? Hey, how are you? Yeah. You can't do
I ain't
this.
that shit to get ill, mate. Like, I was kind of fucked this morning. I mean, but I still managed to do this. I'm cool. My body, if I get ill, it's good at fighting shit off. And
see, I weren't even gonna mention it, but think about that, bruv. Like, you hit me up and you was like, boy, I don't know if I could do it, yeah. And then you hit me up and I was like, oh, bruv, what happened? You said like, yeah, I've just brought it all up. And I feel better.
Yeah.
And did you have to tell yourself?
Come out of me, innit?
Did you have to tell yourself to do that?
Nah, the body does that.
The body just did it automatically, yeah. But what do? We do in this like paradigm that we're in. We go, oh, you feel sick? here, take this, and stop it from. So it's stopping whatever's meant to be coming out. Your body's actually like going, yo, we need to get this out, bruv. Either through the back way or the front way, whichever way, or however deep it's gone inside. You know what I mean? And for you, luckily, that's even quicker. When it's like, oh, I'm gonna bring it up front way, that's even quicker because it hasn't got all the way down. Bam, and then after that, you're like, oh, I feel better. It's the same shit like when you get dust in your eye. You just cry it out. Tears come out, bam. You know what I mean? But what have they done to us, bruv? What have they done where we're like, oh, shit. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And that's another thing. Just don't be afraid of looking into things, man. Just, you ain't got all the answers. None of us have.
Or crying. Don't be afraid of crying. No, be afraid of crying.
Yeah, it's true. Don't be come on, man. Don't be afraid of crying, bruv. Crying, that's detoxing. That's getting shit out, man. There's a reason why he cried, you know what I mean?
Better to let it out than keep it in, bro. Trust.
Exactly.
Especially if you've got dust in your eye.
Yeah, Dan is a mason, like not a proper mason, he's a carpenter. He's a carpenter. You know what I mean? So when the dust in the eye thing, it's quite sentimental.
I've had all sorts of things in my eye. Yeah, I've had to cry at work a few times.
You've had to let it out at work?
Yeah, it's dust in my eye, man. Yeah.
People like, not same, man.
It's crying.
Not same here, bro. Right. You know what I mean? Just a whole bunch of them.
Like, builders, whole bunch of builders together.
That's as well. You know what I mean? He's trying to hide his barling by like. You know what I mean? With the drill. Fuck it up, boy. Yeah, that would be hilarious, man.
No, yeah, but I think there's a thing with like what they want you to do when you take something is they're trying to convince you it's a bit more heroic to like just like swallow it down and cover it up, and it's the same thing when they get you to take medicine. They're like, oh, you can keep it down. Your body's like, no, I want to throw it up, and then they're like, no, take this. You swallow it down. Be strong. Keep it down. And it's the same with the emotions thing. Is they're like they're constantly telling you like, you keep it down. No, don't let it come out. It's a similar sort of mindset. Like you've got to suppress everything, push everything back down again.
It's true,
Yeah,
we're lucky, man. That's why we got the outlet, boy. You know what I mean? You got our outlets. Use your creative juices, get it out in that sense, man. Get it out in that way. And I gotta say,
that's it. So it's the same thing. Yeah, they want you to keep it down.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. And with that, we got to say Ramson Badbonez is definitely one that gets it out there, man. Go check out his music. Ramson Badbonez at Bandcamp. Hit him up, man. Follow him on Insta, Ramson_Badbonez. And make sure you spell it right, mother lovers. You know what I mean?
BADEB.
Yeah, man.
ONEZ.
You know what I mean? The singles out there right now. Also, oh yeah, see it there. Dr. Evil O saying did a sick track with Jess recently. That's what we were talking about, man. The Alpha track. Go check that out. The video's out there as well, and you'll hear more about the project that it's part of. And boy, when you hear it, jeez, yeah, another dimension, man. That's all I can say. Another dimension. Yeah. It's got to be interesting, bruv. Yeah, man.
Where else can people get hold of you? What's the Twitter and Instagram? Is that the best place?
Instagram's the best place, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Appreciate you coming on, bruv, man. Definitely, bruv.
Thanks for having me, bruv. Come on, man. No, anytime, man.
Yeah, man. Now we got to do it again as well, man. Yeah. And get into some deep, some esoteric shit, because I know you you dig deep as well, boy. So we will have a good chat about that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. That's Ramson Badbonez, mother lovers. Show some love in the comments. He's saying, nah, man, we don't need to. It's late, man. See, Dr. Evil O is saying quick little bars. He's asking for a couple bars, but we'll save that for another time, innit? What you say?
Yeah.
What you say? Badbonez licking his chops. Right.
Whatever, man. Want to do? What do you want to play them?
Oh, do you want to play something?
But me, nah. I've got nothing to play. I thought you wanted to play my man's bars, innit?
Yeah, no.
He sent bars.
He wants a quick freestyle.
But yeah.
We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah, man.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
Nah, he's saying he wouldn't be a fan if he didn't ask, right? Nah, he's not lying. Nah, big up Dr. Evil O, man. Appreciate you locking in.
Yeah, no, big up, man.
Yeah, man. That's Ramson Badbonez right there, man. One of my favorite, for sure. One of my favorite MCs, man. And it's good to know you, bruv, man. Definitely keep at it.
Yeah, likewise.
Like, I ain't even got to tell you
One of my favorite MCs.
Yeah, man. Salute, brother.
On time, bro.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's love, man. Yeah, it's got to be interesting, man. People hearing this new one, boy. Jeez. It's got to be very interesting.
I'm curious to see in it how people take it in. And
yes.
It's different from everything else.
Yeah.
Don't say anything else. That's enough already. That's enough already.
For real, innit, man? Yes, man.
Yeah, no, I don't give too much away.
Innit? Just look out for more, mother lovers. Some more videos coming. So yeah, man. Yeah. Big up to all the crew that were locked in, man. Shout to Turbo Tubalicious, Dr. Evil O. Shout to Yamore. Shout out to PLK, Billy Wiz, Lawrence Limburger, DJ Lock. Yes, of course. Shout to Gleam. Shout to Kenny Rebs, Kenny Rebel, man. What's going on? Regantology. All the crew that were locked in, man. We appreciate each and every one of you. Nice one, JM. Of course, man. Blue Fliggy, shout to Bluefoot, shout to More One, shout to Teddy T. Yeah, man. You lot are going in, boy. Definitely. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, shout to RLD Records. Oh, okay, RLD, we're in there. Jeez. Yeah, man. That's what we're trying to do, man. Build the community, you know what I mean? Hopefully there'll be more people coming through. Shout to More One. It's good to see him, man. John Manson. I said that right, innit? Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout to the Twitch crew as well, man. We definitely got to start pushing the Twitch thing more. Shout to Irish. Big up Spud Gun. Shout to all the mother lovers that were locked in. And shout to everyone that tunes in on the podcast as well. We got to give you a lot of shout.
Yeah, go and sign up to the podcast if you listen to podcasts. Just give us at least some numbers that make it go up.
Yeah.
Make number go up. Yeah.
Make number go up. Basically.
That's on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Castbox. It's on loads of podcast things. So just go and get.
Big up.
It's good to listen back to them as well.
Yeah,
especially you know, because there's some good information tonight.
Big up to King Chico. Yes, man. All the crew that were locked in, and all the people that are listening later on as well, man. We love all you bitches and bitchettes. See, we don't discriminate. Shout out to Nicole Kisser. Jeez, long time no see. Nah, man, we don't discriminate. Bitches and bitchettes, whichever, either or. You know what I mean? Whichever you feel like you are at the time. You know, you be that. You know what I mean? Yes, man. Big up to all the crew locked in. And make sure you hit up the cmosboss.co.uk. It's about 20 for 20% off any of your orders. And hit up cannasersuk.com for all your cannabinoid needs. And hit up SYMNNKNA for 20% off any of your orders. Mother lovers.
We'll do your the Mice Investigates next show.
Yeah, next show. I don't think we'll be here next week. No. I'm away next week, but it'll be the week after. Do you know what I mean? But if you catch up on some old shows, man, go and visit the Flat Earth show. Now, catch up on some old shows. If you ain't caught up with everything, man, there's a whole bunch of information there. Do you know what I mean? That you could take notes and then go and do your own research. That's the whole point of it, man. You're meant to go and check out, you know what I mean? Do your own thing, man. What's that? Other half had to...
Nicole Kidder again.
Oh, right. That's hilarious. Yes, man. So, yeah, man. Appreciate all you mother lovers locked in, man. I hope you enjoyed that, man. That was a good chat with my brother Ramson Badbonez right there, man. One of the illest. You know what I mean? That's my brother, Dan DNA right there. My name is My Stiggy. You know what I mean? This has been some shit you might never know nothing about. And guess what, bitches and bitchettes? We're out.